Okay, will Salvador be a responsible adult? I think he will, because he's only a kid, it sounds like, because he's only 40 pounds, it says. And it also says that he already takes care of his brothers and brings them to school, so he's kind of acting as like a father figure for his brothers. So I think he'll be like a really responsible adult and like a good adult.
Yeah, I agree with Katie because he's already, in the morning, he's pretty much already the adult to his younger siblings, to his brothers, and so, like, he's pretty much already an adult.
I agree. Because, like, and he, like, walks him across the street and everything. He gets him ready. So we should do the next one. Okay, so, each paragraph begins with Salvador. What do you guys think that means, and why is it important in the story?
I think it might be because like he's the main person in the story, and like the whole story is kind of like worded around him to make it fit for him. So it's like all about him. So it has to be about him, if that makes any sense.
I thought that like, okay, so when you look up Salvador and it's like savior, and each paragraph, like the first paragraph, he like helps his brothers get ready, and in the second paragraph he helps them pick up all the crayons, and like when they spill, so he's kind of like not like saving him, but like helping them.
Yeah, I had put something like that. Each paragraph is kind of, it has a different story, but it also shows like how much of like a savior he kind of is to his brothers.
Yeah.
So
That's what I put too. I looked it up and it meant like savior or rescuer, and then like he's always like helping his brothers, and like if he wasn't there, his mom might not be able to take care of his younger siblings.
yeah.
I said that he was kind of like a savior to his mom because he helped with his brothers, and his mom was lucky to have him to help take care because she's busy with the baby.
Yeah.
If you were Salvador, would you help your brothers, or how would you react to his situation?
Well, I think I just try to like help my family out because like it sounds like they were like really didn't have a lot of money, and so I would just try to like keep my brothers like happy and stuff.
But I think it would also be kind of hard because, it says in the first paragraph, it says that he is a boy with no one, who is like no one's friend.
Yeah, he's not so.
So it'd be hard, at least I think it would be hard to have kind of like the strength to, if you get what I'm saying, to keep his brothers and stuff, even though he doesn't really have any friends or isn't respected at all.
And also just like I just kind of got the vibe that his mom was like didn't really like care about him that much. I feel like she kind of only cares about the baby. And it's like he kind of has to take like all the workload, and then if you put like your mom not really caring about you, and then like you don't have any friends on top of that, it just I feel it could be really hard and like a lot to handle.
Do you think that Salvador has a dad?
I mean, I feel like if he's the one who's always taking care of his brothers because his mom can't, then no, because if he did have a dad, you'd think that would kind of be his dad's job.
To help his siblings. That's what I was thinking too.
What is the significance of caterpillar in the first line? Okay, so I looked up the definition of caterpillar, even though I already really know what it is, and it said that caterpillars are colored to resemble their surroundings. So, like, he basically kind of has a hard life in a sense because he has to take care of his brothers, and like he doesn't necessarily live in the greatest like place. So like he kind of, I feel like, is kind of colored to resemble his surroundings. Like
He's like small. And very.
Yeah, and this might be kind of a weird resemblance, but this is what I thought. So like a caterpillar turned into a butterfly, Oh, and like he's really little right now, but just from like what he's already done, you can kind of tell that he's gonna be like, he's gonna turn into like this big like kind of like amazing butterfly maybe, you know? Not an actual butterfly, but
Yeah, in the third paragraph it says, inside that body too small to contain the 100 balloons of happiness, the single guitar of grief is a boy like any other, disappearing at the door.
So like that could have to do with the
yeah.
Kind of showing like how small he is now. But then, like, how. Yeah. How old do you think Salvador is?
You know, like it's really hard to tell because he acts so old, but he's like so little.
40 pounds.
Yeah, but I feel like 40 pounds could be like metaphorical. Like it's probably not actually only 40 pounds. Like just to kind of show that like he's holding more than he can kind of handle, but he's like doing a good job at it. Kind of.
Yeah.
So I don't really. It doesn't really give you any clues to how old he is.
No.
Okay, so okay. So this is back up in the second reading, but it said list or highlight all the verbs in the description, and I listed like every single one of them, and I don't know if you guys did, but like when I did it, I realized that like each of the verbs, as you go through and read them, it kind of like summarizes the story, like and like
It shows, I think all the verbs show everything that he has to do, and if you realize it's only like the morning and it's early in the morning, and just like by all the verbs, this is everything that he has to do, and feeding his little brothers and getting them to school.
Yeah, and that's just one morning. So like
That can take a while, a lot of energy.
I like found this thing where like I looked up the passage and it said it's like over, and with one sentence there's over 80 or like 100 words, and like I thought like that meant that because he was like always really busy and he was like always on the run, so he never had time to like stop, and so that kind of goes along with how busy he is.
Okay, so this is like a question that I thought of. So the author, I can't really pronounce her name, Sandra
Cisneros.
Cisneros was born in Chicago, I read. Do you think that might have like impacted the story a little bit? Because like she might have grown up in like maybe like a worse part of Chicago, and like it could have.
Well, I also looked her up, and even though she is American, she likes writing stories with like a Mexican character because she feels that and when I say like writing with Mexican characters, sometimes she writes in Spanish, and she feels that by doing that, it conveys the message and improves the rhythm of the passage. So I think that being like growing up in Chicago helped with this story, but I thought it was also kind of interesting that she likes writing in Spanish and with like Mexican characters, even though she grew up in Chicago, which isn't just a little far, like a long way away from Chicago or from Mexico.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of detail in the story, and it describes things really well, and I think that helps you like picture what he has to go through every day and how he lives and has to take care of his brothers.
Were there any like details and imaginary or figurative language that you thought were significantly important in the passage?
I thought the whole caterpillar like kind of thing was really important, and
Yeah.
that was basically
And also just like I thought that the 40-pound thing kind
Yeah,
of like
that one.
conveyed a lot of like questions and like thoughts. So I thought that was pretty important too.
And then it says like inside the 40-pound boy, with the geography scars, it's history of her and like one stuff with
Like
feathers.
that whole last paragraph was really descriptive.
Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely like a really like descriptive author, and that really helped like make me wonder, made me think of questions. So that was
The first 2 paragraphs were kind of about what he's doing to help others, and then the third is kind of more how he feels, and is just focused on himself and like how he feels.
Yeah.